So you've probably seen or heard my family running around. I have my wife here. She's actually the loudest one of everybody. But I have 4 kiddos. So this is our youngest, Mordecai. I grew up Presbyterian, and I don't know if any of you know anything about Presbyterian Christianity. As far as liturgy goes, that was pretty comfortable, the transition from Presbyterian Christianity to Messianic Judaism. A lot of the same sort of, you flow from one thing to the next every week. It's a rhythm. Something that was new was actually reading the Bible often. That changed. At least for me personally. I can't speak for everybody out there. So Torah Club, we started our Torah Club a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Basically, the inspiration came from Terry and Andrew, our mentors in Virginia, good friends of ours. We started going to their Torah Club, and after a year or two, we just, they have changed our lives. They've changed the way we look at the Bible. They've changed our relationships with Yeshua, and I think that we can't talk about our Torah Club without referencing our heritage with that. For sure, we wouldn't be having a Torah Club, I think, the way we do without their influence. So if you haven't talked to Terry and Andrew, I would be surprised. But if you haven't, you should make a point to meet with them. They're excellent people. Terry's parents are here as well. They're all people that influence us. They make sure that we are making it in Virginia. Of the people that live near us, those are ones that are special to us. Our Torah Club is a military Torah Club, which is unique, but not so unique that there already wasn't an online military Torah Club that nobody told me about. I guess some of us missed that memo. One of the struggles we have is people PCS, they move away. And so at any given moment, we have one member, and that's in addition to us. So it's been interesting. A lot of the fellowship that comes from that has been exciting, though. We get to spend a lot of one-on-one time with some families that are really special to us now. But, there's a lot of Torah clubs out there that we see have 20, 30 members. They've almost built a community on their own. For us, it sticks to 1 or 2 because every 2 years they get swiped away. Sorry about the distraction here. He's cute, though, right? Yeah, the rocket ship jammies are our favorite. So yeah, there's some struggles. The military, they take people away from us all the time, and we've learned to deal with that, and we've kept in touch with those that have moved away. Our hope is that we're planting seeds all throughout the military, subvert, right? But either way, in our experience, Christians seem to have a zeal for learning true biblical studies. And Torah Club provides that in a special way. For us, when we get into those really difficult conversations, it's usually an excitement. It's usually people experiencing something for the first time, and it keeps them coming back. We've never had anybody tell us, this just isn't for me. Usually the conversation is, what else do I need to know? And it's been really exciting. For us, that Paul on the road moment seems to happen often for people. Just seeing Yeshua for the first time and realizing his Jewish roots are important. Who he is and his Jewish identity matters. For our Torah Club, that happens often, and we really appreciate that is the case. And it is enlightening to us as well. We love to have those moments with people. For us, it's exciting to see how the church is coming alive and waking up. Torah Club inside the church community it's an exciting thing to think about. Whole church communities that are having these big Bible studies where they talk about the Jewish identity of the Messiah. That's exciting to us. For my wife and I, with 4 kids, another on the way, we look to the future a lot. We think about our future a lot. We are concerned for our children and their future, but it's Torah Club and this community here at Malchut that really gives us comfort and gives us a lot of encouragement. It's moments where we don't necessarily know what is going to happen, but we do know that there are some people here that care, and they also are pursuing Hashem. And Hashem willing, that will continue. That's our desire for First Fruit to Zion. That's our desire for Generation Zadi, which, is what we've talked about earlier today. We see our kids running around, and I don't know if you've seen, there's a whole pack of children in the next room over. They've kept them sequestered, which has been nice for the rest of us. But just looking at that and seeing how those are the children that are growing in this, and they're never going to know anything else, God willing. They will be stronger than we are and firmer in their foundations, and hopefully that's something that we can pass on to them. But either way, thank you for being here again. Being in a Messianic circle is really awesome because it feels like we know the truth, but it is isolating at times. Certainly, it's hard to feel alone at Malchut. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. I'd like to turn over to my wife, Blu. She's going to tell you about Generation Zadi, Camp Zadi, why it's important to us. So if you would, please listen.
Thank you. So about 3 years ago, my husband and I got involved with the 1221 program and Camp Zadi with Shana and Matthew. They encouraged us to come and participate in a camp, so we did, and it was such an incredible experience to see the next generation of young people that are excited about Messianic Judaism. We have the opportunity at Camp Zadi to pour into the counselors and young adults as they go out to bring more light into the world as they're going into college, going into, the early stages of, relationships and things like that. They're bringing the light of Hashem to the rest of the world, and we get to really pour into them together, which is super fun. We are in the process of raising our children intentionally with like-minded believers, and so we want to be sure to surround them with a community of children who they can lean on when they feel alone or different or, they don't fit in. So it's been a huge blessing to befriend Shana and Matthew and their 2 girls, and Kelsey and Jeremiah and their 3 kids, and so many more families that are involved with Camp Zadi, and just all of the joy that brings. Honestly, as camp has grown, we initially just had, the counselors and the campers from the ages of 12 to 21. It was kind of like just that age group. And then all of the staff was having children, and there were all these little kids running around, so we created an entire program for the young children of all the staff. So now they have something called Gan Zadi, which means Garden of Righteousness, and the little ones get to learn from the grandmas of all these little babies, and they get to be taught Torah and work with some of the FFOZ materials like the Torah Club house and things like that, while we get to focus on pouring into the campers as well as the counselors and everyone else. It's a mission that Elias and I have come into together to just pour into the next generation so that they can go out and be a light to the world and feel like they're in a community as they do so. And I really feel like Camp Zadi gives us that opportunity. So it's been a pleasure to serve through camp, and we have a video to show you.
Here at Camp Zadi, we have people from across the spectrum. We have Messianic Gentiles, we have Messianic Jews from Israel, but the thing that they all share in common is that these kids are learning about traditional Judaism on their own terms, and they're getting a balanced perspective of what it means to be a disciple of Yeshua in this age. I think that summer camp is one of the best ways to impact youth in the Messianic movement. I've been a counselor now for 10 years. I've never seen such a immersive and holistic environment that encourages kids to become leaders and kids to take hold of their faith. And camp, everyone comes together to support each other. We're like a big family, and the Messianic movement is in dire need of a next generation of leaders. I see those leaders on campgrounds every summer here at Camp Zadi, learning to love Judaism and learning to love Yeshua, and those things not being in conflict, but being very empowering in their lives. When we're at summer camp, we're here in the woods, we're on a campground for 2 weeks away from your congregation, from your parents, from whatever influences that are outside of yourself. And these teens are able to connect to their faith in maybe the most personal way they ever have in their life so far. For me, the value of camp is that not only are we developing the next leaders of the Messianic movement, in my perspective, but we're also creating just really strong adults. Kids that are learning to deal with their emotions, learning to get along with other kids, learning to be counselors and guide younger children. Everything about the camp experience creates a leader, creates a better community member, and the summer camp experience is one of the almost lost treasures of the American religious landscape. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, summer camps sprouted up across America, and they made congregations bloom. They made a committed generation of people that were in the pews, that were in their congregations, that donated, that were into prayer, that raised their children going to Jewish day school and to Sunday school, and we've gotten away from that. And kids aren't connecting to faith as much. And I've seen numerous Messianic teens who were my age when I was a teenager grow up and just wander out of our movement. But camp is giving them something to hold on to. It's giving them something to be excited about. It's giving them something to feel like they're a part of, that they're part of building the kingdom of heaven. And I think that's so precious. I think it's extremely exciting. It's something that I look forward to all year long, is to get back to camp and to be around the people that are going to change the world.